Okay, so I am just about done with my heel turns. I am on the last row of my purl stitches, and I'll show you how this ends and what I meant about being ready to pick up the gusset. So see, I'm at the end of my needle there. And now I've got one more gap to close. So still slipping, and then knit all the way across. And the last thing I'm going to do is another closing of the gap with my slip slip knit and a knit one. And now my yarn is here and it's ready to pick up the gusset. Oops, here on the side, right? So there's my heel, all turned out and nice. So 32 stitches to start with, slip 1, purl 18, purl 2 together, purl 1, slip, turn, and then a slip 1, knit 7, slip slip knit, knit 2 together, or slip slip knit, knit 1, turn. And at that point, you will have gaps that will tell you where you're going to either P2 together or slip slip knit. So you just either purl to the gap, purl 2 together, purl 1, or knit to the gap, slip slip knit, knit 1, and you turn after each of those, and you get this nice little kind of V heel. So I think it's like about a third of the stitches, or 2/3 of the stitches that you're doing. Okay, so now picking up. So here's the stitch I have here left on the needle, and I basically just go right under that first loop below that stitch, and I pick up the whole thing. So this is me picking up my stitches here. I'm picking these up with the new needle just because it makes it easier, but what I'm going to do is slip them back onto my heel needle when I'm done, because I want to keep the gusset stitches on the instep stitches on the instep needle, and the heel and gusset stitches on the other needle, because that makes it easier to do the gusset decreases. So I'm just picking up all these stitches here until I get close to my instep needle, and we'll count. It's going to be important because I want to be able to pick up the same number of stitches on the other side. So there's that. I picked up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 stitches, which is what I expected to pick up. And now, before I begin, I want to, begin on the next needle. I want to go ahead and slip these 16 stitches onto my heel needle. There is that. My heel needle now contains my short row heel and my 16 stitches that I picked up along the heel flap. So now here I am going to just knit across my instep stitches. Scoochy scoochy and knit. And we are almost there. Some of these videos that I see, people put music during the, quiet bits, but it's always the same music, and it kind of grates on me when I'm watching those videos and then I hear this, galloping music or something. Okay, so those are my instep stitches. This is where I changed yarn, so I'm just going to put those out here to the outside, and now I want to be able to pick up my other instep stitches, and again I'm going to be using, maybe I want this on the other side, I'm going to be using my spare needle, and let's see where I'm going to go. I want to be able to pick 16 up, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16. Okay, so that's, I start here. And I'm picking up those slip stitches that I on each edge. I'm just going right under it and picking it up. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, you want the galloping music? Almost there. And then I'm going to count. Oh. Hopefully I'll have the 16 that I wanted. Getting a little splitty here. Okay, where are we? 2, 4, 14, 16. Yay! Alright, now, I'm not going to slip the stitches because I don't need to. Now I'm just going to go ahead and knit across my heel stitches. So right now, I guess my beginning of round is somewhere here in the middle of the heel. So I picked up these stitches, and then I'm going to knit to the middle of the heel, and I'm going to pretend like that's the beginning of my round. And when I continue to the other side of the stitches here, other side of my needle, I'm going to begin my gusset decreases. So you'll be able to see that in just a second. So now I'm going to be knitting across my heel and beginning my gusset decreases. And then you'll see that all my stitches will be on all my heel stitches will be on one needle. So I'm going to scooch. Yep. I've now passed the midpoint here, so this is the beginning of the next round, and I'm going to get to the last 3 stitches on my needle, and I'm going to be doing my knit 2 together, knit 1. Yeah, there it is, 3 stitches, knit 2 together, knit 1, right, and that's the beginning of my decreases for the gusset. So I'm going to show you, I've got all these stitches scrunched up here. So again, now this this needle here is holding my instep stitches. This will always be 32. I've got, I'm not really sure how many stitches I have, 16 plus whatever there, and then now 15 stitches because I did that decrease. So I'm going to knit across here, and then I'm going to knit 1 SSK and then knit across. And so basically what's happening is all my decreases are always going to happen at the end of this needle, at the beginning and end of this needle here. I just have to remember when to do it. And for this decrease, I'm going to be doing the decreases. There's a decrease round that I'm just starting now, and again, my beginning around is here. So knit to the end, the last 3 stitches on this needle, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit all the instep stitches, and then knit 1, slip, slip, knit, and then knit to the end of the round, which is again here. So this is how my sock is looking, and that's how my stitches are loaded on my needles. And then so you can see this is where my decreases happened, right there and right there. So I'm going to continue these decreases until I have 32 stitches left on my heel needle. I still have 32, so I'm going to get back to 64 stitches, and then I'm going to continue in the round. So that's basically what I do for socks, and what I do when I'm knitting with either socks on 2 circulars or these bent DPNs. So very, very compact here. Okay, so the next video will show you how I finish that up and begin in the round, and what my heel is going to look like.